If you're new to a estate agency, this is the one video I wished I'd watched when I first started. You see, many agents don't fail out there because they're lazy. They fail because they waste their time focusing on the wrong things. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the 5 mistakes that estate agents make from day one. By simply avoiding these mistakes, you'll be ahead of 90% of all agents in your first year. Okay, so mistake number 1 is trying to be someone for everyone. Now, generally speaking, when you first launch your estate agency, you're a bit of a yes person. Someone comes along, they've got a house to sell, and they're in your core area, and you think, yep, you've got a post and a doorbell, let's go for it. But that could be a mistake. What you find over time with maturity of business and business owners as well, is that actually no becomes a default answer more than saying yes does. So eventually down the line, what this will look like day to day is when you're valuing properties, if they don't agree with your pricing structure, if they don't agree with your fee structure, or you think they're just not the sort of client you want to work with, then generally speaking, it's a no. Whereas when you first start, the answer is usually a default yes, no matter what. This means that agents fall in the trap of trying to be someone for everybody. And unfortunately, in this situation, you're generally nothing to a lot of people. This is where you really want to niche down in your business. We're talking with regard to core area, so only focusing on a core patch within your business, also focusing on a core audience as well. This might be investment buyers, first-time buyer properties, it might be family homes, it might be bungalows, it might be land with development potential, whatever it may be. You want to be known for a really strong part of the market. You want to be a really big fish in a small pond. You see, when you understand who you're the perfect fit for, so if you understand that you are a great agent is selling family homes in a particular part of town, then you understand what meshing you can do. Because in a very cheesy way, you can sort of close your eyes and go, right, I'm a family living in that area with 2 kids. What things are important to me? What questions do I have? And therefore, that basically leads your marketing strategy as a business because you can answer those questions directly to your ideal consumer. As if you are trying to deal with everybody in the local marketplace, that is really, really hard. You cannot please everybody. No matter what you do, someone is going to think you're great and someone's going to think you're absolutely terrible. Whereas if you really niche down in your market, you can have a conversation with people who know exactly are going to fit with your clientele remit for your business. Okay, so mistake number 2, and this isn't just new starters, this is experienced estate agents as well, is missing the follow-up. So statistically, most agents will chase a valuation once, maybe twice if they're lucky. Most people out there will buy a product after the 5th to 12th follow-up. So you see this huge difference out there between 1 or 2 follow-up phone calls right the way through to 5 to 12. That's a massive difference. And the studies out there show that salespeople actually chase up more, get a huge line share of the business. So the fortune really is in the follow-up. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Chris, but I don't want to nag people. I don't want to phone every Tuesday saying, are you ready to go on the market yet? Are you ready to go on the market yet? January is a good time to sell. Why not try February? Because it gets really boring really quickly. All you're trying to do in that conversation is trying to take things from people. Will you come to the market with me? I'm trying to get your property on the market as soon as possible. Instead, you want to flip that on your head. You want to stay in regular communication, but offer value instead. This might be a market update you've just recorded, for example. It might be sharing a listing you've recently put on the market around the corner from their property. It might be a property you recently sold and say, hey, just to let you know, we've just sold the one around the corner for yours. We had an open day, we had 10 viewings, 3 offers, and agreed at the asking price. Thought I'd let you know, looks really good for your place. So it doesn't just need to be take. Are you ready yet? Well, the better position to be is just to be that local person who is offering them value about what is going on in the local market. If you stay present and you stay within their phone and within their eye line, when it comes to being ready to sell, you're going to be the agent they call. Okay, so number 3 is tracking metrics within your business. Now, there's different layers to this. So what we're going to do is just look at the basic figures in this video. These are things that I should be able to ask you, and within about 2 seconds, you should be able to go, yeah, I know that figure. Now, I spend a lot of time speaking to agents day in, day out, so I know that lots of agents don't know these figures because I kind of have to work them out from what they give me. So the big things I'll be looking for are how many evaluations did it take to get you a property on the market? Great for that property come on the market. How many of those do you need to come on the market to then get one property under offer? And if you're trying to get that property through to completion, what is your fall through rate off the back of that? So it gives you a nice, easy sales funnel for your business. Also, we want to be looking at your average fee over time. Is this heading up or is it heading down? If it's heading up, this is good news for your business. If it's staying stagnant or heading down, this isn't a good sign. You see, with these headline figures, you don't need to be an expert in the rest of the business. Think about it a bit like a dashboard on your car. You don't need to be the world's greatest mechanic to see your oil light come on, meaning that you need to put more oil in. You don't need to be the world's greatest mechanic to see that on the rev limiter in third gear, it's probably time to change into fourth. If you've got the main parts of these figures lined up, it will signal what is going well in your business and what isn't going well in your business. The answer here is not simply to stick your head in the sand and go, hopefully it'll be okay if I just work hard, because the real money is making tweaks and changes to this process over time to get your figures exactly where you want them. Number 4 is something I see every single day, and this is when new agents undervalue their time. So I've got a question for you. If I said to you, come around to my house and clean my car, how much would you charge me for an hour of your time? That doesn't have to be cleaning my car. It could be cutting the grass. It could be painting a fence, whatever it may be. But the important part here is how much is it going to cost me for an hour of your time? Now, the most common answers we get back for this is usually around £50 to £100 an hour. And to give you a rough idea, £50 an hour is about £100,000 a year, and £100 an hour is about £200,000 a year, to give you a rough idea how that looks on an annual basis. So there's many agents out there who undervalue their time and their expertise, generally because they're either a new business or they haven't quite got that confidence yet. Now, unfortunately, some agents can make this worse for themselves. They can say to people, I've just launched, so I'll give you a discount. Or, yeah, we've not got a high street presence, so therefore I'll do it a little bit cheaper. This isn't the route you want to go down. You see, people buy results from you as a business. They don't really care how you get there. As long as you are going to sell their property for as much money as they possibly can do in the best timescale with the best possible service you could do over that time, that is what they care about. The rest is a far bigger deal to you than it is to them. So you need to get out your own head here slightly, that they are paying for the results you deliver in the business. The fact it could be your first house you've sold or your 100th house you've sold doesn't really make a difference. So please do not undervalue your time. This is also super important when it comes to outsourcing your business, because you've got to look at it and go, actually, as the business scales and scales and scales, are you the best person for this job? So for example, after a certain period when you first launch, you might think, I'm fine doing admin. It's no problem doing this. But as your business grows, you're going to outprice this very quickly. And eventually, it's going to be better for you to outsource your admin to an individual who just does that. It might be better for you to outsource your lead generation or your social media, for example, leaving you to focus on the core part of your business, which is the listing and selling of properties and then getting them through to completion. The next mistake is wasting your time on low impact tasks. Now, I hate being a little bit passive aggressive here, but I held a gun to your head and said, right, you need to get an instruction as soon as possible. Do you think doing your admin would be the first thing you would do? I would hope not. But this is the choice that agents make every single day in their business. The biggest priority for you as a business is to get properties on the market. So to take a step back from that is, how do we get our phone ringing to get market appraisals in our business? If you are booking 2, 3, 4, 5 valuations per day, it's very hard for your business to fail. It literally makes it bulletproof for the future. If you're booking no market appraisals in your business, it makes it super easy to fail. So therefore, lead generation and generating market appraisals in your business needs to be your number one priority. Because unfortunately, without having properties on the market, you could be the most amazing estate agent in the world, great at offer negotiation, great at listing properties, selling properties, getting them through to completion. But if you've got no properties to sell, you're just going to be a man or a lady stood on a street corner somewhere in your town, which I'm pretty sure is a different career choice. So therefore, I should better look at your diary every single day and see what your priorities are. And if lead generation isn't a serious chunk of that, you're making mistakes in your business. If you're brand new, it should be taking about 80% of your time to be focused on lead generation. If you're an established business and you're still pretty busy, I would be looking at 90 minutes every single day to be focused on lead generation. What that is going to do is going to take out the downsides and increase the upsides of your business. What you don't want to have is sort of these peaks and troughs with regard to income in your business. You want to have a solid baseline across the board, and that 90 minutes is going to generate that over time. Okay, so those are our 5 big mistakes that agents are making when they first launch their agency. And it's not just exclusive to the new guys. People who are established are doing these mistakes as well. You see, success in business, and estate agency is no different to this, doesn't necessarily come from avoiding these mistakes, but it's realizing when you're doing them and changing course as quickly as you possibly can do. So off the back of this video, you should be looking at your diary and go, what should I be stopping doing right now? And what should I be doing a lot more of? What's going to make my life a lot easier in the future? The agents that succeed aren't the busiest. They're the ones that focus on the right tasks in their business today. Okay, so that is a wrap for today's video. So if you want some more information about how to grow your very own estate agency business, you can grab a free copy of my best-selling book, Your First £100,000 Estate Agency. Just DM us the word book over on Instagram. Speed to racing. See you on the next video.